April 15th, Jagex Shadow dropped a brand new survival crafting game, Dragonwilds. They've had a ton of projects over the years that did not have success, to say the least. But this game, this project, is very different because they've pulled out a technique, a secret technique. They've been keeping it in their back pocket for who knows how long, but they finally pulled it out. They have inserted RuneScape into the title, RuneScape Dragonwilds. And RuneScape being a game that millions and millions of people have tried at some point or are playing right now, this game was purchased. According to 3 websites on SteamDB, between 275 to 650,000 people bought a copy of this early access survival crafting game, peaking at 52,000 concurrent players. An update on this as I'm editing, the CEO of Jagex has confirmed over 600,000 copies were bought. And if you are wondering, yes, Jagex did send me a copy of this game, but I didn't see it. It was sent to my spam folder. I purchased this game twice. I bought one for my friend Walnut too. I played this game a lot, both on a solo server and on a co-op server, because with games like these survival crafting games, your experience can greatly differ depending on if you're playing with other people or not. So I made sure to do both. The RuneScape universe is exciting, and it means a lot to me. It's very dear to me and a lot of other people. And I love that Jagex is willing to break out of the MMO space into other genres of video games. There has always been a ton of potential in doing that, and here we are. But with all that in mind, it's really important that stuff like this represents the RuneScape universe correctly. And speaking of representing a universe, imagine this, an action-adventure RPG based on the TV series Game of Thrones and the novels A Song of Fire and Ice. You don't have to imagine that, that's what this is. This is Game of Thrones King's Road. Now imagine you are a part of Westeros during the storyline of Season 4. You don't have to imagine that either. You're a cast member now, main character. You don't often get to hop into a video game having a sense of familiarity with the world around you, which is what makes this unique, because I've seen the show, and when I played this, I was like, oh yeah. Did you ever think that you would see Gary Gilbert and Jon Snow in the same vicinity working together? Me either. Look at that. Gary was running around, exploring, looting anything he saw, taking on packs of wolves and bandits. Nothing was stopping him. Gary was at home in Westeros. Felt really cool barging into an enemy camp, taking them all down and looting their stuff, Gary style, or whatever he calls it. I went in, made sure to try this game. It was a lot of fun. You can pre-register now using my link in the description. Early access is available on Steam. Big thank you to Game of Thrones King's Road for sponsoring today's video. I need to start this off with a disclaimer. I'm going to criticize the hell out of this game. I really enjoyed this game. There is just untapped potential, and I need to point a lot of stuff out that I hope can give some direction or ideas, just get some conversation started, because this is amazing. The fact that we have RuneScape IP being turned into different games. Myself and many, many others have been waiting for something like this for years, and it's finally happening, and I want to provide as much constructive feedback as I can, because this is awesome. I am just overanalyzing my experience. I'm looking at details that I would never have thought about if I would just played it, had fun, logged off. I want this game to succeed. I want RuneScape games to be a thing. So if any devs watch this, if anybody from Jagex is watching, just know that this is all coming from love. I promise. Just had to let you know. There is no questioning this. It is the most obvious observation you could possibly make about this game. RuneScape Dragonwilds, at its core, is inspired heavily around Valheim. I have to talk about it. I am a huge Valheim fan. I made a video about it. It was probably my favorite survival crafting game I had ever played. And I think the only reason that I had tried Valheim in the first place is because I heard whispers that it kind of reminded them of RuneScape. It gave them the same feeling that RuneScape gave them, which I was definitely skeptical about, because typically survival crafting games don't resemble RuneScape at all. But when I did play it, I understood exactly what they were talking about. Valheim is how I imagined RuneScape, playing it as a kid. It wasn't the exact same, but it resembled that feeling of wonder and the desire to explore and improve your character. There was just these little sprinkles of things that reminded me of early day RuneScape. Woodcutting in Valheim and woodcutting in RuneScape are very different, but that cozy, grindy feeling that I had gotten from RuneScape all those years ago was what I was feeling here. Like I was back at Sears Village chopping maple trees behind the bank. There's a side of me that knows I shouldn't be diving into this comparing it to Valheim. It is a separate video game, but good God, is that impossible. It's kind of like when I told everybody to go into Brighter Shores and to not compare that to RuneScape. This whole next part is, I'm gonna get all the Valheim comparison stuff out of the way first. I'm just gonna do it all here in this one big clump of Valheim comparison. The progression of armor, the way that you resource gather and craft things, the base building, the raids from the mobs, the way the mobs' eyes glow, the way that chopping trees works, except it's way funnier on Valheim because they can kill you. The need to fucking eat, which I know is just a typical survival crafting mechanic. I'm allowed to hate a survival crafting mechanic even if I'm playing one. Hunger sucks. Such a low percentage of people that enjoy feeding their character in a video game. So yes, this game is heavily inspired by Valheim. That's fine. I had so much fun on that game. Why would I not like a new Valheim-like game that can give me similar experiences? Throw more at me. I'll play them, including this one. They also decided to add thirst. I would love if the thirst mechanic was literally sliced from existence forever and we never had to drink something in the game to stay alive. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that on RuneScape. I don't want to do that on Valheim. This is annoying to do in real life. I don't want to do that. I want to do other fun things. I feel like that might be something that should be absolutely implemented, prioritized as like a slider toggle thing, because it sucks. I'll say it. I'll say it. I don't care. It sucks. In Valheim, there's procedurally generated maps. There's seeds. The lay of the land is completely changed from the last one that you were in. I'm assuming the choice of keeping the same map, everybody being on the same layout, was for the sake of the story in Dragonwilds, because they have implemented a story, or started to. Procedurally generating a map would throw a few wrenches into that story aspect of the game, and that's completely okay, because games like V Rising, that's the same map every time, everywhere, and it does a great job. There's been metas on where to build bases. It's helped with the PvP scene. I think it's cool. But speaking of the map, I really, really loved terraforming in Valheim. It made for some of the funniest experiences, some of the most creative ideas. It changed everything. The possibilities were endless with terraforming, and I really don't know if terraforming would work in the map, but I want to try it so bad. I have no idea if it would be a disastrous feature to make. It probably would, but oh my god, I wish there was terraforming. I want to cause chaos. I want to build stupid shit. I want to build traps to make my friends fall down. I hope there's some way to implement that, because it would change everything, literally. It's awesome. And I think that would also bring some more creativity to a map that doesn't change. I don't understand game engines or coding. I'm just an idiot consumer who likes things and says about, you know, the things that I talk about the things I like. I like terraforming. I'm not gonna keep comparing to Valheim. I got it out of the way, got it out of my system. You know, we can't just compare to Valheim, because, you know, this is, in fact, RuneScape. This is a RuneScape game, not Valheim. It's RuneScape. It's RuneScape, right? The biggest contributor to the success of this game is that right there. That word, that game, that IP, that branding, that's why this game is successful. If Jagex had shadow dropped this the way they did with just the name Dragonwilds, totally different story of how this worked out. Which brings me to probably the most important question of this video. Does Dragonwilds deserve the RuneScape name? Is Dragonwilds stolen valor? Is this son of a bitch the real deal? Is this even RuneScape? We're looking into that. That's next on our list. Welcome to chapter 2. That's what the title screen was for. We're gonna look into it. I wanted to know what the hell is going on, why we're here, where are we, why are we, when are we? Because I don't know if this is like a RuneScape 3 lore thing, but I have no clue why the wise old man and Doric and Zanuck and Vanica are all here on this island together on some expedition. I didn't even know they were friends. I didn't know they were cool like that. I thought maybe Do they know each other? What is happening here? What is this? Why is the wise old man unretired? Did he retire in RuneScape 3? Because he's definitely retired in old school. He's not moving from that house. Zanuck being here as an old school player feels very wrong. We don't know where Zanuck is. Vanica, that dude's been above ground like once. Doric, why did he want to do this? Is that the type of guy he is? I have no idea. I haven't really talked to him much. Because don't get me wrong, I love the character cameos. It is cool seeing these RuneScape characters in a new engine, new aesthetic. That's cool. Why those ones? Maybe I'm very out of touch with like RuneScape 3 things. I don't know. Maybe they just took like characters they think everyone would recognize. Like Vanica's very recognizable. Wise Old Man is always in all of the promos. When I started running around the game, I started finding these diary entries dated with like 4,200s in that time period, which threw me off because I was like, wait a second, 5th age old school, that's like year 169. It's like 4,000 years of difference. But that's when I realized it's not the same age because they reset the years when a new age comes. And the only age that had over 4,000 years was the 3rd age. So whoever wrote this lived in the 3rd age, which I guess justifies that, you know, the wise old man is alive. He didn't live 4,000 years. It's not. That's definitely what I thought at first. I was very confused. And there's also a journal entry later on that does say of the 3rd age. I didn't find that one, but I read about that one. Got here, discovered that it was infested with dragons, and there's a big dragon harassing everybody named General Velgar, which is Elvarg in anagram language. There's new mobs, there's like I think Garu, I don't know. They're new. But I was looking for as many RuneScape-y things as I could, because I was playing a RuneScape game. And I want to see RuneScape things. Chinchampas, they got those, terror birds. Some of the resources are the same. Tin, copper, it still makes bronze. RuneScape didn't invent that, but I mean, it works here. There's oak trees. I'm gonna skip to a pretty major RuneScape reference. Let's talk about the whip, the Abyssal one. The Abyssal whip is one of the most iconic items in the history of RuneScape in its 20 plus years. It was one of the clearest signals possible that a certain player was powerful. If they're holding a whip, they hit hard, and they could be rich also, maybe be their friend. And the whip in Dragonwilds is also very powerful. It's a very significant upgrade to work towards. And in old school RuneScape, to get a whip, you kill an abyssal demon. And in Dragonwilds, when you want to get an abyssal whip, you kill an abyssal demon.
Whoa, I do see something scary over there.
I don't see it.
I see something very ominous in the distance. It's scary looking. We're gonna have a very tough fight. Oh god, it's coming towards us.
Oh wait, it's coming right at us.
Hello.
What's up, fucker?
What? It's a boss!
It teleported at me!
Oh.
Help me!
It's an abyssal demon!
Holy shit!
I'm tanking it. Take it out.
I'm tired. I can't shoot my bow.
He's looking at me.
Oh god. Oh god. I'm dead.
Gary Gilbert died?
I'm very dead.
Oh no.
They don't look like that anymore. That's what this is. They're scary. And it was cool to finally get an abyssal whip. You know, for the sake of Dragonwilds, the game experience, it did feel like a good upgraded weapon. But on the RuneScape side of things, something felt very wrong about getting an abyssal whip that early. I know it's the survival crafting game. It's not the MMO. You shouldn't have to sink MMO hours into a survival crafting game. But what I'm saying is, I feel like the Abyssal Whip should not have been in the game yet. I feel like that should be like one of the last weapons that you craft before you take on the end game boss. I don't really know the best way to... Okay, look, here's how I'll explain this. Right here, I'm holding a whip. Do you notice what I'm wearing? I'm wearing bronze armor. Normally, when you get bronze armor, if ever, in RuneScape, you're not going for a whip. You're usually going for something else, like a steel scimitar, something, mithril scimitar, something like that. A whip is far from your sights. And I know bronze is a different story here, but it shouldn't be. It's RuneScape. This doesn't add up. We've skipped all of the iconic RuneScape metals. There's no mithril, there's no adamant, there's no rune. Feels like it's not a RuneScape progression system. Sorry to bring this up again, but this feels like a Valheim progression system for the armor. This is very much not RuneScape. They've got iron armor, and then you can discover paladin armor recipes. Paladin armor isn't even a RuneScape thing. It's a cosmetic in RuneScape 3, but it means nothing to anybody. I mean, it's cool looking, but it's definitely not RuneScape. Why is there not a helmet with the iconic plume? Why would you not give all the materials to let somebody roleplay as the buying GF 10K meme? People want to look like that on a RuneScape game. Why would you not make full helms? What the fuck? I just think that a RuneScape game should be consistent in that you need to get through the progression of Mithril Adamant Rune. It's so weird because there's like these new, never seen before weapons that you can find the recipes for and make, and you know, it's unique. But then there's also, you know, the Granite Maul and the Abyssal Whip. There's something off. There's something off about this weapon progression. You have that in the title, so I get to criticize things that don't feel like RuneScape. The only RuneScape that we've known. Here's an example of why are you not thinking about RuneScape. Bone tools, bone weapons. There's so many things in place that would justify a bone spear existing in Dragonwilds, which comes from goblins, by the way, from the city that one of them is from. There is that underlying story going on, which I think should definitely take a big majority of the focus if they want to separate themselves more. Like the Runecrafting Guild quest for the Staff of Light, that felt more like, not a RuneScape thing really, but it felt unique. It felt separated. Even though it was just a small side quest, it still felt new. It was a new experience in the survival crafting game, which I wanted to feel more of.
Check this shit out, loser.
Wow.
I think the music gets scary.
I can take a wild guess.
Oh, then.
It could be a dragon nearby. All right, I'm gonna stand still and then move when I need to. Thinking. And I'm being hunted as well. Are you kidding me?
Parkour roll.
Ow. Oh no.
I think the dragon's gone now, guys.
I might die.
No! Oh god, I'm poisoned
I'm dead.
now.
Yeah, I am too. Poisoned.
I'm fucking dead.
Shit.
We should have made the lodestone.
It's not too late. I can do it.
Do it, do it, do it, do it,
Make
do
the
it.
lodestone. Make the lodestone, Jimmy.
Oh, shit.
Anywhere. Literally anywhere.
Insufficient resources. No! I need one more fucking thing. No way. No fucking way.
I need the vault core. Jimmy, give me the vault core. I'm gonna die.
I'm dead.
I truly don't think that the game deserves the RuneScape badge quite yet. I really, really hope they consider the way that we progress in this game and make it more attuned to what we're familiar with RuneScape. You know, everyone has whips already. It just made it feel very inconsistent from what we know from the RuneScape world. I would love for that RuneScape in the title to make more sense. That's all I want. But I know people are gonna pull the early access card. This is a problem I have with the entire gaming industry, and that's EA. No, not that one. That's way worse. I'm talking about that one. I've had a big problem with that one for a very long time. I plan on doing a video essay on just this topic at some point, so I'm not gonna go too into it, but I have to get it off my chest because a lot of what I'm saying here today was probably rooted in this. I can completely understand if you're an indie dev, you have no investors backing you, you need to get something out there to get funds for yourself so you can continue to make a thing you're passionate about. I understand early access in that sense. However, if you are an established company, a publisher of games, developing games, who has money, monthly millions of money, I think paid early access should not be tolerated by the player base. That's just how I feel. The release of this game feels a lot like a paid alpha test. And I know I might sound dramatic saying this, but I'm just so tired of seeing early access stamped on the Steam page and then a company releasing a half-baked product for pretty much full price, getting everybody's money, and then maybe making it better. I don't like it. 10 years ago, a company as big as Jagex would be releasing a fully finished, tested project. A big game release. But instead we get a game where you can only level up one of the 3 combat styles. I paid for this game, like I've paid for hundreds of other games. So I'm going to treat this like a paid game. There's a lot that should have been fixed and finished before putting this out to Steam. The other 2 combat styles are absolutely essential for the experience here, and you can't level them past 1. I don't know, I don't understand that one. I mean, this is up for debate because, you know, this is a fundamental part of RuneScape, but I know the devs probably didn't intend for this to happen, but this is how you get the whip. Safe spotting is back, baby. Every RuneScape player is familiar with this tactic. I don't think they meant for that to happen. There's two random events that seem mostly pointless. The Velgar attack, where the dragon suddenly swoops in and starts spitting acid pools at you and you need to dodge out of the way. The other random event is Hunted, which spawns the mobs of that region near you. Gotta, try to not be killed. And if you're gonna do random events like that, why is the evil chicken not popping up attacking us? There's the RuneScape not being there again. A very clear opportunity, probably you have chickens in the game. There's some other mechanics that I feel like weren't fully tested to see if they're miserable or not. Like the tier 4 area with the lightning, it's constantly dark and raining. Lightning is targeting you and it can just totally fuck everything up. And it's really, really frequent. I hope they change the lightning. I don't like the lightning. The addition of resource gathering skills and different essential utility spells is pretty huge. Using the Axtral spell and hitting 4 trees at a time is so satisfying. It's awesome. And then getting the Splinter spell, which lets you destroy the entire log that fell. Love that. I think Wind Step is really cool when it works. Doesn't give you like immunity to fall damage or anything, but I mean, it lets you go cool places. There's Rock Explosion, which is amazing. I think overall the combat's pretty fun. Survivability with combat is much tougher on a solo server. It's pretty brutal at points. I enjoyed the extra challenge of playing solo, but at some points it was like, geez, I really want to just get the resources I need. They're gonna eventually have to add things like, resource multipliers, damage multipliers, raid frequency, just giving players the ability to shape their own playthrough. A lot of players are gonna see games like this and instantly think, I want to do a creative mode server and build crazy shit. I just think there's a lot of directions that they could go or where they could have gone. I don't know where they go from here. I was in the position of creating a survival craft RuneScape game, and I'm coming up with the setting, the story. This game would be taking place in the 4th Age. The 4th Age of RuneScape happens right after the God Wars, and it's known as the Age of Mortals. And I would have capitalized on some lore that already exists, references that we could become a part of, putting us somewhere in Asgarnia or Misthalin before Avaraka and Falador was ever founded, when it was just wilderness. Well, like a forest, not the wilderness, you know what I'm saying. That way RuneScape references could be made in a very real, immersive way without just playing the role of pure nostalgia bait. Like imagine a side quest, like a construction-based side quest, where you have the job of laying the foundation of a building, which eventually is the spot that becomes the Varrock General Store or the Varrock Bank. You've helped build one of the places that is recognized in modern day Varrock. You're the guy that laid the foundation of the Varrock Bank. That was you. You did that quest because there used to be nothing there. And then, the Age of Mortals, people started establishing little civilizations. And then you could have characters like Arab, not the dead version of them like from the quest, but the real one in their timeline. Those characters are a part of RuneScape lore. People know those characters and they would make the perfect fit for a RuneScape spin-off. There's so many interesting timeline events from the 4th Age that would have made so much sense to make as the setting of this game. Since the map is going to be static, it would have been incredible to have a somewhat familiar terrain of Asgarnia or Misthalin, where you could pretty much recognize everything based on the forestry there. You would be some of the first building in that land. I feel like they really, really missed out on an opportunity to make a really cool setting for a survival crafting game that played into the world of RuneScape as we know it. I think getting a RuneScape game is something that a lot of us, myself included, have dreamt about. The RuneScape universe is amazing. There's no reason to stop at the MMO and constrain it to the engines of the MMOs. I just hope that Jagex sees how much interest is truly there in the RuneScape name in the gaming world and does take more opportunities in the future to start developing things and expanding the RuneScape timeline. There's so much there already that you can build on. I did have fun with Dragonwilds. I had fun going in with Flutton and Walnut and just messing around.
Oh god, you're just running. Oh god, you're just running. Oh god. Ow! Ow! There's a bird! There's a bird!
Fucking god. Oh my fucking god.
So I really hope that in future updates, which I absolutely will be playing, we see more of the RuneScape identity show itself. Jagex, I beg of you, take your time with this. You guys just made a lot of money, and I really hope the dev team gets to use that money to take this project and turn it into something very special. There's a lot of directions you guys can go with this. Even if it means scrapping this map and taking my idea, you can have it for free. I'll give it to you for free. I just really want to see this game get to its full potential because it's badass that they're actually taking RuneScape IP and making new games with it. This could be the start of some crazy awesome shit, and I hope we get to see it. But that's it. That's all I've got. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy.
I'm just building a fence.
What?
I'm just building a fence.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the
What if they
goblins
just break through the fence?
They're not going to break through the fence, dude. AI is so easy to exploit. Basically, they're going to be like, we have to go right here. We have to go in this way.
This is you're using RimWorld tactics on fucking
Yes.
on Dragonwilds?
That's exactly what I'm using. Oh, this will keep the
Hey, is
dragon
that
out.
fence gonna work on the dragon?
Aha! He can't get us now. Got a fence.
The goddamn dragon is bombing the house right now.
Are you serious?